Hi guys, and welcome to the first part of this week's Coffee and Hero show, as ever taking you through the new releases into the store this week. The usual collection of graphic novels, some hardcovers, omnibus, all the usual kind of stuff. So this is stuff brand new into the store this week. It's its usual mix of some back catalogue stuff, some new releases from this week as well. I should say we're going to be doing a little bit of moving about in the store in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be expanding the image section. You know, we're huge fans of Image Comics and everything they do. They have some of the best creators in the world working right now. Obviously guys who work for DC and Marvel as well, but they're free to do their own independent stuff. So we're going to be moving the new release section and putting it over with the actual new releases, the new release single issues every week. So it'll all be one sort of all-encompassing new release section. And then we're going to expand the image one across to there. So the image section is going to be as big as the DC and Marvel graphic novel section. And I think that's part of our commitment to making sure that there's something for everyone in this store. You know, not everybody who's into comics is into superheroes. You know, they like their noir, they like their horror, they like their sci-fi, their fantasy, whatever. So with Image Comics, we want to make sure we have the biggest possible selection. So again, we're going to be expanding that section over the next couple of weeks. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And I'm sure with the videos over the next couple of weeks, you'll start to see a lot of Image stuff being taken out of the box to showing you into the store this week. So, but I'll take you through what's in this week anyway. So we'll kick things off with the Batman Wayne Family Adventures. I'd spoken about this one last week. We got volume 4 in, which was the new one. I'm doing a bit of back tracing now, issue volume 3, volume 2. Of course, Diamond didn't send volume 2. Why would they? So it'll hopefully come next week, but volume 3 is now in stock with the store. So great all ages title that. You know, it's great for, you know, seasoned readers who'll get all kinds of references and dynamics between the Bat family, but it's great for newer, younger readers as well as a good sort of into the superhero world. Some manga here as well. We have Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy Volume 2. You know, we don't get the biggest selection of manga, and I try to keep it as filled as I can. You know, I added new stuff recently. You know, we added some One Piece, we added some One Punch Man, we added Demon Slayer, we added Death Note, things like that. You know, we'll always have a section there. It just might not be as all-encompassing as everything else. We're not Forbidden Planet. So, but we will cater as much as we can. Next up is not a comic, but a book, but a fantastic looking book, which is The Crow, The Life, Death and Rebirth of a Classic Film. You know, there seems to be a real appetite for The Crow. There always is, because it's such a quality book. Obviously, they released the trailer recently for the new upcoming version, which in polite terms is not for me. But, you know, we've been getting the graphic novel in the last few weeks. As soon as it comes in, it sells. It's sold out again this week. I've got more copies coming next week. But yeah, if you're into the film, and why wouldn't you be? Because it is genuinely one of the best comic book adaptations. This is the definitive story of that, how it got made, the death, life, and rebirth of a classic film. So yeah, it goes through everything, through its production, to Brandon Lee's unfortunate passing, to its release, enduring appeal, impact on on-set firearms safety. Yeah, so loads of access to the film's cast and crew, loads of interviews. I have a copy of that for myself, which I'm looking forward to tucking into. So, moving on now, we have To the Heart of the Storm. So this is a graphic novel by the godfather of comics, Will Eisner. You know, there's a reason that the comic version of the Oscars is called The Eisners. You know, Will Eisner done it all. And this is an ambitious historical saga spanning 2 world wars that reflects on anti-Semitism and the challenges of assimilation for a new American family. So, yeah, I've got a copy of that myself. I'm sure that will make for some rather heavy reading. Next up, we have Magic, which is Boom's latest sort of redo or reimagining or relaunch of Magic the Gathering. I mean, they brought in a heavyweight writer, certainly, Jed MacKay writing this. Of course, so well known for Moon Knight, for Avengers, currently doing Blood Hunt. Easily one of Marvel's biggest writers at the moment. And this encompasses the first 10 issues. So a great jumping on point for anybody who wants to jump into Magic the Gathering. Next up, we have The Expanse Dragon Tooth. So this is a spin-off from the television show. It's a 12-issue series in total. This is volume 2, which is issues 5 to 8. Issue 12 actually came out this week in singles, so the third volume will follow not too far behind for the whole story. Next up, we're jumping into Image Comics and Newburn Volume 2. So brilliant creative team on this. Chip Zdarsky writing, Jacob Phillips on art. You know, we're big fans of both of those guys. Newburn was a 16-issue crime epic, and Volume 2 collects issues 9 to 16, and we've got Volume 1s in stock, which is 1 to 8. After that, we jump into a little bit of gap filling for Image Comics in one of our favourite recent series, which is Firepower. You know, Chris Samney, Robert Kirkman, just a fantastic series. Finished at Volume 6 with issue... issue 24. No, it ended at issue 30, so we'll need a... Oh, no. change from volume 5 on to volume 6. So volume 6 is the last volume as advertised, 25 to 30. So brilliant series, ended fantastically well. Big fans of that, so it's good to have the whole run back on the shelves. Next up, we have Seoul Before Sunrise. This is from Samir Damani. This is part of the Humanoids releases. So Humanoids tend to release a lot of European stuff. And I've been trying my best to get more and more of this in because it's something a little bit off of center. European comics are always different format as well. They're slightly wider, so more room for the art to breathe. Haunted by a lost friendship, Seong-ji rediscovers herself during nocturnal explorations of a dream-like Seoul. So looks very good. That beautiful art. I had a little flick through that myself already. Next up we have in stock is Mark Millar's and Juanan Ramirez's Nightclub, Volume 1. So, superhero vampires from Mark Millar, what more do you need to know? Great cover by Greg Capullo there as well. You're 17 years old and you've been bitten by a vampire. Do you live in the shadows and drink human blood? Or do you use your newfound abilities to have a little fun and live the life you always wanted? Great stuff. The sequel series has recently been announced as well for single issues, which will be coming out later this year. But if you want to jump into it from the start, Nightclub Volume 1. Next up is Punisher, The Bullet That Follows. So this came from David P. Pose and Dave Wachter. This was a 4-issue series focusing on the next generation of Punisher, if you will. It's been a little bit of a divisive one, this, because obviously for a lot of people Frank Castle is the Punisher, but I thought what they did here was actually really good. 4 issues, just, I mean, in store I think the reaction to it was quite positive, but yeah, if you want a slightly different take on the Punisher, then that is the volume 1 this week. Next up we have from Tom King and Jorge Fornes, Danger Street Volume 2, the latest installment of Tom King taking more obscure characters from the DC universe and just making a kick-ass title. So yeah, this basically collects the second half. So we've got the first volume downstairs, it's 1 to 6. This is 7 to 12, so that completes the whole 12-issue series. This is one that I was a big fan of, The Nasty. This comes from John Lees, who was the creator of Sync, which I've talked about before. Big fan of that. He did a wrestling book for AWA Studios called Crimson Cage, which is really good. But what this is The Nasty. This is set in Scotland, and it's to do all around with the idea of video nasties. It's to do with a video nasty that's so notorious no one's ever seen it. So these kids decide to get together and they're going to make their version of it and present it as the original. But you know, it takes all types of turns and horror moments and all sorts. Really good. It was an 8-issue series in total, and that's the full run there. Next up we have Epic Collection The Avengers, which is titled Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So as you may guess, this is volume 1. This is Avengers right from the start. This is Avengers 1 to 20, all in one book. So of course this is your Stan Lee, this is your Jack Kirby. This is Marvel from the beginning. So I made sure to get a good few of those volumes in. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man, Big Apple Battleground. So I can see the names Len Wein and Marv Wolfman there. This is volume 10 of Spider-Man, which covers 1977 to 1978. Amazing Spider-Man 165 to 185, Annual 11 and Nova 12. Peter Parker proposes to MJ, the Green Goblin returns, and more. So just a couple to finish off with. We have DC Pride, Better Together, so new hardcover here. DC Pride is back again with a brave, bold, and all-new collection of stories and illustrations starring DC's vast stables of fan-favourite LGBTQIA+ characters, many of whom will find themselves in thrilling team-ups, the likes of which you have never seen before. So this includes creators such as Grant Morrison, Nicole Maines, Christopher Cantwell, Nadia Shamus, Alyssa Wong, Rai Hickman, Max Sarin, and many more. And then to finish off, we have a beautiful new omnibus in this week, which is Predator, The Original Years, Volume 2. We also have volume 1 downstairs as well. So I've spoken about this before. This is essentially all the Dark Horse stuff being transferred over to Marvel Comics. Ever since they acquired 20th Century Fox, they got the rights to the licenses. They've been putting out single issue series, which have been pretty cool recently. But this is the original year. So this was all that Dark Horse stuff, all that world building and stuff that exists outside of the movies. So this collects Predator Hell and Hot Water, Predator Primal, Nemesis, Captive, Homeworld, Xenogenesis, Predator 2009 1 to 4, Predators 1 to 4, Beating the Bullet, Preserve the Game, Hunters 1 to 5, Hunters 2, Hunters 3, and material from Dark Horse Presents and Free Comic Book Day 2009 as well. So pretty definitive for any Predator fan out there. So that is everything new into the store this week. As I say, keep an eye on the next few weeks. We're going to be pumping out that image section and absolutely stocking it to within an inch of its life. Again, always with the commitment to making sure that when you come in here, there really is something for everybody. So as ever, I hope this proved useful, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to tell your friends about it. Feel free to subscribe, all the usual YouTube nonsense, which helps us grow as a channel. So as I say, I'll hopefully see you in store soon. And until then, take it easy.